Hello everyone, my name is Jay Martin. Welcome to coverage of the 2026 Community League for Napoleon Total War. This is a tournament being hosted, and it is a double elimination format. This is a round one matchup between, on our left, Kharkiv, and the player on the right is th1nk, Ottoman and GB respectively. The first map is Italian Grassland. A feature of this map, you'll notice, in the center is a large forest area, and then there are two hills to either side. And usually this area is where you'll see players do the most of the fighting. And as the game begins, I'll just note that the Ottoman player has substantially more cav than the GB. And as they begin, both players moving towards the center. Keep an eye on this unit down here. Actually, can I? Yeah. Keep an eye on that unit down there. It's going to go off your screen here in a little bit. The Ottoman player is moving a bit faster. They want to use their cav to get in there and take the ground. And as the game begins to develop, it seems that the GB player, or th1nk over here, wants to be incredibly narrow. He's just going to challenge for the forest in the middle based on how everybody is moving. I guess I should also note that the GB player has 5 light infantry. The Ottoman player has none. So the GB infantry move into the forest here. And the Ottoman had initially, deployed forces for these two hills, but they're unopposed. So we'll have to see what can develop out of this. And in the center, the Ottomans run up and start shooting. And this is a bit awkward. It's fairly narrow. You see only 3 line units can occupy the space. The Janissaries pull back. And initially, we just start with the infantry moving in range of each other. Now, you notice the Ottoman infantry on these two flanks is trying to figure out what exactly it wants to do with itself. And there's a lot of cav that is going to have to be used at some point. The GB line infantry is of higher quality than the Ottoman. The forest will even the odds for that a little bit. And here comes the first cav movement. The shooter cav come in to threaten, and they're continuing the charge here. The GB player does not react by squaring. But at the same time, the double line here should deal a lot of casualties. Not many, actually. Only down to 45 here on the mounted rifle for the Ottoman. So fairly successful charge. I guess he did get into square. Seemed like that was hit very late. And probably shouldn't have been able to. But it does force both of these units into square, so their firepower is going to be reduced quite a bit as they take a lot of damage. Now here comes another charge from the right. The difficulty is when you're charging into double lines like this, your cav are going to take a lot of hits. But he kind of has nothing better to do with them at this point. The Ottoman player does move the 2 flanking forces in, so this should start to look pretty bad. You can see two units here firing at 1 there. The lights should have something to say about this, but in the center, the GB infantry is going to have a hard time. And it looks like the first Janissary unit is thinking about getting involved. GB lights are moving up. Probably a good move. And here comes the Janissary. This is one of my favorite things to watch in the whole game. Yeah. There they go. Fantastic. Now that Janissary is going to gum up the center of the line. Looks like a cav unit came in too, and the GB infantry seems to be withdrawing a bit. This cav unit is going to continue causing all kinds of havoc and just, preventing people from shooting back. Here comes in another one. And it looks like a GB cav is finally doing something here, but here we go. They're just countercharging there, I suppose, and the other one is still back there, so not a whole lot's happening. Not much is going on with these units down here. I guess they're being held at bay by the foot guard. But the Ottoman player is probably very has their attention focused here, and they've broken the line unit on the right side of the GB. Janissary unit still going strong at 80. Another cav unit comes through. Now take a look at this over here. This is the cav unit from way at the bottom of the screen that is circled all the way around. And there is some desperate fighting going on at the center. GB is being pushed back at this point, but it seems fairly even in terms of casualties. The Ottoman player is running out of infantry. But here comes, the unsolicited attack in the rear of your general. There that goes that. And he just does not see it coming. The general unit routs. And the yin-yang of the GB army is the units have very good statistics in terms of reload and accuracy and everything, but the morale isn't great. So if you can cause a morale shock by killing the general right there, then the GB units will suffer. And I think we're going to start seeing this in a minute. So this is a light at 60 right there. So these three are all at 60. Their flags are all red. The other Janissary comes in. Very good timing on that. And here goes the next unit routing at 48. There you go again, 49. And the chain route is sort of starting. And this is the weakness when GB does get their general sniped like that. The last cav unit goes. This Janissary unit's still trucking at 35. The extra. Oh yeah, then these two units go, and this is a big chain route happening for the GB player, and very difficult to come back from a situation like this. And I think the Ottoman player was rewarded for not only the little bit of cleverness here in the rear, but I think they were doing pretty well in the center of the map also. Starting so narrow as the GB player, I'm not sure what you would do to turn that around, but eventually you're going to get enveloped. And when you're bunched up like that, it makes units like the Janissaries that much more powerful. And I think we can fast forward to the end of this one. The tournament, which is being held through the NTW Community League Discord, still going strong after many years now. It's about 20 participants. There are some names that you and I probably be familiar with. Some other new faces. Both of these would count as that to me. So this is the end of game one. Kharkiv. In the end, the kills are very similar. Interesting. But there we go. There's game one. We'll pick you up in game two. Spanish Lakeside is the map for the follow-up. Fun map that I never saw played that much, really. Generally conceived of as a 2v2 map. And the if you're not familiar, the feature here is on the left is a large hill, and in the bottom is a flat area. And the way this plays out, a lot of times, the flat area, there just isn't a whole lot of room to move around. There's a forest in the middle of it. So you tend to get a lot of stalemates here, maybe lights shooting at each other. The hill has two kind of sections to it. This little passage, again, you can just park one line unit. Nobody's getting through there. And there's a little bit more to maneuver in this section. And whoever gets in this forest here probably has an advantage. And at the beginning, again, we have Kharkiv on the left and th1nk on the right as France and Prussia, respectively. And at the beginning, they both seem to have put together a fairly symmetrical disposition, about half their armies on either side. I think that's fine. I don't see anything wrong with that. I do believe that both this section and the top section here can be plugged up and turned into essentially an attrition battle where you can't break through. The only real place to maneuver is right here, which is fairly small. Maybe that's why this map isn't favored. I used to play a lot of 2v2s on this map, and you can imagine with double the units how much worse it looks. So maybe that's why this map doesn't get played that much. But we'll see the players going. Similar armies for both sides. Kharkiv has 7 cav again, and only 3 for th1nk. And as they get going, and I guess I should note. I guess I should have mentioned you can walk up these two pathways, or down them. I guess. Who would ever surrender the high ground, though? And they're going to get set up. Cav are moving to try to take some ground here. The shooter cav should have a little bit of a skirmishing advantage over the lancers, who have to pull back. Interestingly, there are some militia in Kharkiv's army, and he looks to deploy one of them here. I'm not sure what he's thinking. If he just wants to prevent anything from happening here, that's fine. If anything, they could soak up a lot of shots from the Prussian lights here. And it looks like his cav has, kind of gotten control of the forest area, which could be important. And on the bottom, not a whole lot's going to happen. The lights could go up and shoot. There's another militia there. But I doubt a whole lot is going to happen down here. And here we go. There is a Prussian line unit that gets into the forest. Actually, a few Prussian infantry get in here, so a cav unit comes in to charge them. Looks like it gets in almost free until this unit opens up. And now we have a proper fight going on. Some French infantry makes an appearance. First unit goes down with the Cheval surviving. That's kind of a big win for the French player. And then the Cheval get it charging the foot guard, which are already down to 90. So that's pretty nice. Prussian cav decide to roll in. First hit the Cheval without too much happening. Here come some Lancers gunning for the Swiss. Looks like a square goes up. The rally is hit by the French general. And I just wonder if we pause right here. The Prussian has 3 units here versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In kind of a crucial section of the field. Wow, that's an old guard up there. I don't think you'd want to be wasting an old guard for this area, but I'm not sure what Kharkiv was thinking here. I do think that this section looks really good for the French player. And down here, same thing. Not a whole lot going on. We do see a unit start to move. That's an old guard. And the Prussian are sending units up this direction also. Foot guards are still going at 30. They rout French cav. Swiss foot need to get one volley into these guys and they'll go, I'm sure. Up here, the French militia seem to be melee charging with a cav unit. And the old guard is coming up, so the French might take this also. And the French seem to be doing very well up on the hill section, and it seems like 3 units are moving up, maybe 5. 3 units are moving up. But this is one of those, no matter how brilliant your chess moves seem to be, you have to get the kills, and a lot of attrition is going to occur here, no matter how brilliant you are. I missed this French cav. Where did this come from? It is possible you can walk along here. So I missed that. Kharkiv must have pulled the same trick he did in the previous map and moved a cav unit all the way around. Chasing down routers, which is something I approve of. Old guard at 100 against foot guards at 55. Should have a win there. And Prussia wants to move everybody up the hill, it looks like. Not exactly high APM going on at this point. Kharkiv decides he wants to start moving the rest of his army on the bottom. And it's looking pretty good. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13 units for France. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 units for Prussia. So I would think Prussia's heavily advantaged here. 13 units versus 9. Very difficult for Prussia here to kind of make a breakthrough. That's not a bad start. I wonder if they're hitting from there. Yeah, it's actually a very good position. France does have, I believe, 2 old guard at their disposal at this point. We just have to see how this develops. If anything, I'd think, well, maybe he's doing it right there, but more units coming. If you can't fit all your units here, you move one over here. I think if you're France right here, the name of the game is get as many units engaged as possible. And if Prussia, you'd love to see the French throw them in 3 at a time. I believe that's the last French cav unit. Doesn't accomplish much. It's not inconceivable that, here's another thing. This is a a nearly fresh musketeer unit that could be doing something. I mean, it could easily take on these 2 volts. I guess they'd probably start kiting, but doing something with this unit right now would help a lot. I guess that's a Swiss that's out of ammunition, so they go in for a melee charge. Foot guards do this at 22. That is it. Well, okay, they're out right there, but they're fighting very well. As Prussian units continue to rout, it looks downward. Excuse me, it looks like we're down to 4 now. Both generals are alive. Is the Prussian Fusilier going to win this melee fight? 10 and 11. How are they still there? This. Well, that didn't help, did it? Yeah. See? Now, if that would have happened, like, 5 minutes ago. Very impressive. The Prussian general will die all of a sudden. Yeah. Oh my goodness. It is 2v1. France has a general. This is it. This is the game. 74-57. The Fusilier showing up. Oh, and the general, there it is, the cav charge from the general into the line unit that cannot square. It routs. It routs. And there goes the last Prussian unit. Good Lord, that was close. Very winnable. Very winnable by Prussia. And I think France is lucky to get away with this one. Look how close the kills are. 1356, 1349. It does not get any closer than that. Congratulations, Kharkiv. th1nk, well played, my friend. Very close one. And you were... Any game that's close, it just variance... And I think if you'd have done a little bit more on the bottom side of the flat side of the map there, a little sooner, that comes out for you. But man, really fun game to watch. I love the map. I don't see it very often, so that's cool. I'll try to keep posting games from this event. It's fun. It's neat to see people out there playing the game. So. Again, my name is Jay Martin. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other.